Hi, this is Sue speaking from Mondo in Spain. Good evening to you all, wherever you are. Thank you very much for coming on today, and looking forward to presenting the business opportunity. We haven't done this for quite some time now because there's been lots of news and updates, etc. So I'm just really going to kick right off. We've got a couple of people in the group already. I'm just going to wait for a couple of more minutes, and just so that we actually get started and so everyone's in attendance. So if you can hear me okay, can you please type in something in the chat room so I can see it? That would be really good, because once I actually share my screen, I won't be able to see the chat room. So can you just let me know that you can hear me? I'm hoping someone can. Okay, there's 5 of you on at the moment out of quite a few more. So, okay, that's great. Thank you very much. That's wonderful. So welcome to all of you, and obviously you're all starting to come on now. That's great. Thank you very much. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy this presentation. This is really designed to let you share with other people who are interested in the opportunity. Just really, you know, kind of making sure that, because it's very difficult when you first start to actually present it in the right way. And sometimes you get fumbled and you end up telling people just too much. And you don't need to. You can just plug them into this webinar. There'll be a replay webinar link sent to you about an hour afterwards. So you'll be able to tell people, you can send people that link if you have people that are interested. So hopefully that will be all good, and you know, kind of you'll enjoy that. So I'm just going to share my screen now, and once I do this, that's it. I won't be able to see the chat room, so I'll be able to look at it later if necessary. Bear with me one moment. Hopefully, can you see the screen now? No, you can still see me. Bear with me. Let me put that in and then come back to here. Oh, I love this technology. That's better. Aha, can you all see that? Should be coming up in a second. A little bit of time delay. Bear with me. Aha, there we go. Okie doke. This is, we want you to sit and imagine your life if you didn't have any limitations. You know, what would that actually look like? Because we put so many limits on our own lives because of our situation that we're in. You know, would you have the same house? Perhaps you don't have a house yet. I know one person doesn't and lives with her parents, but it's, you know, that's really important that, you know, kind of it gives people the opportunity to actually maybe buy a house or buy a second home. And also, would you be driving the same car? I think everyone has got their dream car in their focus and would love to be driving that. So, you know, all those things can be achievable. Would your choices be different? And, you know, it's really just having the imagination that we actually seem to stop activating that part of our brain when we, you know, when we're forced out of it. It's forced out of us at school. And so it's having that imagination put back in, and it's also giving you an opportunity that actually gives you these options. So you have a business that gives you no limits and no barriers and no borders. So let me go through this a little bit more. You know, the world can become your oyster. And Jeunesse has been such a revelation in the way that actually it's developed his business. And we find that, you know, people are just networking so easily now because of the internet, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. It's all those things have a great impact on, and it reduces the size of the world completely. So it really is your oyster, and you might find that big pearl in there somewhere. Okay. So we're Sue and Nigel Booth. We've been 25 years plus in networking, And so we're used to doing training calls, webinars, three-way prospecting calls, personal development, coaching, and mentoring. All those things are the things that we bring to the table. Okay, it seems, okay, it's just working now. And you need to really kind of choose who you are sponsored by, because that's important, that you know you're going to get the support from the person concerned. And it's we hopefully will provide that for many of you within our team. And Jeunesse provides something which I've never seen in a company before. And I should just point out that we've been with a company before for 19.5 years. And in those 19.5 years, you know, the internet really came into its own, but the company never caught up really with the technology or the initiatives that were, you know, kind of available now. And Jeunesse does that so expertly. Their whole background is in providing, you know, back office support. So we have an amazing back office, and when you, if you haven't already joined, when you join, you'll just see how much information is there readily available for you. We have incredible social media innovation as well. And we have our own guru, for want of a better word, called Kasaya J. And she does the most amazing information hangouts that really just take you from kind of a standstill to, you know, kind of the next generation in technology, which is great. We also have award-winning technology, both in our products and in our you know, kind of initiatives as well. Our films, our videos that we put on online are just exceptional. We win award after award for them. So tonight, I'm going to cover with you about Jeunesse. We're going to go through the company background, the products. We're also going to tell you how the way you get paid, and also the potential and how you can take advantage of it. These are our founders, Randy Ray and Wendy Lewis, a married couple, and they've been in the business for a long, long time. And their background is software writing. And part of the software kind of history from Randy Ray is he's still being used in Houston for the kind of missile launchings and all the space industry. Excuse me, I got lost there. But let's go back. Wendy is a mathematician and has really provided the backbone of the company by making sure that the distributor is #1. We are the #1 company in momentum, month after month after month. We're actually a 6-year-old company now. We've just had our 6th birthday in September, and we've managed to get to 1.1 billion within that 6-year anniversary. So we're a global business, and that's really unheard of in such a short amount of time for a business this young. We're now in 121 countries, so we're out of date on this slide already. And we have them all over the world. And so anywhere that we are registered, we have office, our shipping ability, you actually can sponsor there, which is fantastic. So really opens up the network incredibly when it comes to sponsoring, you know, kind of people in different countries. Okay, this is the Zen, the youth enhancement system. This is the whole concept of our business. We don't provide everyday products that people, you know, can get pretty well anywhere. We provide really unique products in every single arena. And as you can see here, we've got kind of the little man in the middle, and it's all about redefining youth. And so we have Reserve, which I'm going to talk about later, to defend our systems, restoring our system with Finity, and balancing our system with Zen Body. And then we can enhance our system and maintain all that hard work with AM/PM. And then there's a product that you may well have seen already. If you haven't, then I'm sure the person who invited you along to this will let you see the full article in, you know, and try it yourself. And then we have the Luminous skincare range, which is about rejuvenation. So the whole system is geared around this whole philosophy of redefining youth. Nathan Newman, he's a doctor. He's a cosmetician and a plastic surgeon, but he also is one of the world-leading authorities in stem cell technology formulation. And he's behind the Luminous range. The Luminous range, you can see here, this is the existing range at this moment. And there may be slight variations in different countries, but this is what we have in Europe and the States. And it's just the most exceptional range of products. I am so happy that I actually found them because they make a huge difference to my looks, and I know so many other people's looks as well. So we have the Luminous serum, regeneration serum, which you can see on the second left. And then we have the daily moisturizing complex on the far right. We also have a night cream, advanced night repair, which is absolutely sensational. We also have youth restoring cleanser and an essential body renewal, which is a body lotion, and ultimate lifting gel. And the difference with these products is they all have stem cell technology in them. So they have growth factors. And these 200 growth factors actually send the chemical messages to your skin to actually start the repairing and the regeneration of elastin and collagen within your body. And that normally depletes in most people around about 25 years old. So if you're younger than 25, hang on to it as long as you can, because it stops that aging process. Clinical results are a really important thing, but these are independent. So it's not the company doing this themselves. Our company, you know, the Luminous line is not doing it themselves. It's an independent laboratory study. So these studies are very important when, you know, kind of recommending it to people, because it's nice to know what other people think of our products. And 100% of them would actually recommend the products to family or friends. That's quite astonishing in this day and age, that 100% of them would recommend it. You know, people are saying that their skin felt smoother. It was improved luminosity. And that was one of the first things I noticed myself when I started using the serum. And also 74% felt an improvement in the skin's firmness. So all those things are really important. But as much as you can see these different, you know, clinical results, there's nothing like testimonies. On this one particular, the lady on the far left, that was the first photograph on the left, was taken as she started using the serum. And the second one was taken 5 days later. So there's a big reduction. I don't know whether you can see it clearly enough on the screen, but there's a big reduction on the depth of the lines and the, you know, kind of just the whole look on the skin. And the lady on the right is a 24-year-old, and this was taken before she started using the skincare program, and then 25 days later, so not even a month. And when you see results like that, when obviously someone's got a real long-term problem with acne, that's quite astonishing. You've only got to put in Luminous before and after pictures onto Google, and there are thousands upon thousands of them. And everyone thinks, well, you know, perhaps they're doctored. No, they're not. They're people who are so thrilled with their results that they want to put them online. So that's all, you know, part and parcel of this fantastic kind of range and how we can actually use it ourselves. And then there's this little product. This little product was launched 2 years ago in November, and in the States, within the States, they actually launched it. Within 45 minutes, they'd done over $30 million. So that's an astonishing amount of money. And why? Because it works. I'm just going to show you a small video. I hope you can hear this. Oh my gosh, I've just got a horrible. Okay, guys, bear with me 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm having a problem just with one thing. Okay, I've lost my screen. Bear with me a minute, guys. Okay, I just need to make sure that that screen is being shared properly. Okay, I don't know what happened there. But okay, this is the Instantly Ageless. Doesn't seem to have any volume on it for some unknown reason. I don't know why. This is tapped onto the eye, as you can see, and the main thing is that you just leave it 20% wet, tap it under the eye, and then literally the magic is done inside just a few seconds. What you'll see is that they've got a stopwatch here, so this is in real time. So we're only at 5-6 seconds at the moment. Now you can start to see the eye on the left-hand side, or her right eye, is starting to really start to diminish that dark ring under the eye. So you can use this on top of makeup or underneath makeup, and it works a treat. It lasts for 8 to 10 hours. People notice it so quickly, and that's what makes it a fantastic door opener as a product, and just astonishing results. It's really improved so many people's lives. It's an exciting thing. Okay, this is the next product, and this is Reserve. This is the one that helps that defense, if you like. And defending is very important. We all have environmental damage with, constantly hitting us on a daily basis. Whether if you work in the town, in the city, you're going to find that you're being bombarded by it. So this is designed. It's an antioxidant fruit blend. It's like a gel, and this is designed to actually just counteract that and hit those free radicals and get rid of them. So it's a fabulous tasting product. You can just take it. I tend to keep them in the fridge, and they're just so easy to tear off, and you just drink it like a child would drink one of those little juices. They're great. Then we have another product called AMPM. AMPM is really quite astonishing, and I didn't realize quite how astonishing until my husband Nigel started using it. He doesn't sleep a huge amount at night, and probably five hours most. And I sleep like a baby for 8 to 10 hours. And I said, I've been taking this, and I really enjoy taking it. I like it very much. And he said, well, it won't work for me. I don't sleep very well. So I said, come on, just try it. And that night it was 8 hours nonstop. So that was my testimony. He even said to me the other night, God, that stuff's incredible, because it just knocks me out. It's perfectly natural, and it's designed to kind of maintain your well-being during the day. So it kind of perks you up during the day. It gives you clarity and focus on what you're doing. And then at nighttime, when you need to repair and rest, then it actually kind of winds you down ready for doing that. So fantastic product, and recommend it to anyone who has problems sleeping. Okay, this is Zen Body. Zen Body was launched in Europe in October in Paris, and has had remarkable results already. And the best is yet to come, though, because they've just had LEAD, which is the convention in Vegas. And this happens every year at around about this time, March time. And they've just launched 2 extra products into the range as well, which will really improve the whole concept of what it is. It's about eating clean. It's about kind of reducing the fat content in your body and improving the lean muscle. And Zen, Fit, Pro, and Shape are all designed to help one another. They work synergistically together. And then they've just launched now 2 new products. One's called Prime, which is actually to be used in the detox section of your transformation. And the other one is called Fuse, which is actually another protein shake, but it's designed to do something slightly different. I haven't even read up about it myself yet, because it was only information you need there about the product. And also we have a closed Facebook page, which is specifically for Project 8, and it's fantastic. The research that's gone into it is incredible. We have an online health guru and nutritionist, Mark McDonald, who has really changed the way that we are doing things. So very, very interesting. You can download files. You have to request to join, and within a couple of hours, maybe half a day, they'll actually allow you to come in, and then you can access all the information. So this is really fantastic. There's lots of recipes that you can do, and really making a huge difference to a lot of people. The before and afters on this site is, well, they're just amazing. They are absolutely incredible. And literally, they're working around an 8-week program. So those are the products so far. And really, with Jeunesse, you need to know how you're going to get paid. And we've got 6 streams of income. And I'm actually going to ask Nigel to come over and tell you more about those. So thank you from me for a minute, and I'll pass you to Nigel.
Evening all. You'll be very happy to know I have not taken my PM yet, so I'm wide awake and ready to talk about the way the money's made. I actually heard something earlier on the news about the average adult. 50% of average adults in the UK actually only have a £500 spare cash capacity. If they lose their job, they're in deep trouble in a very short period of time. And actually it points to a really interesting thing, and that is that so many people live paycheck to paycheck. There's no real security in terms of what they do for a living, as opposed to what they do to make a fortune. And I know that might sound a bit odd to a lot of people, but essentially making a living is one thing, but actually creating a real, something really for yourself is not something most of us are taught how to do. And what these opportunities, a bit like Jeunesse offer, and particularly Jeunesse itself, is that potential, that capacity to create something specific and special for yourself. Part-time, 97% of people thereabouts join a networking business like this one on a part-time basis to begin with, and in quite a lot of cases, the part-time income very quickly becomes the full-time income. And so what you're not doing is you're not betting the house or on starting a business that has big risks. You know, the average McDonald's franchise now is somewhere in the £1 million range, £500,000 to £1 million. Most of the good sites have already gone, the cheap ones anyway. If you want to get into one that will pretty much guarantee to make you a millionaire, and let's face it, good McDonald's will make someone a millionaire without a problem, then you're going to have to find somewhere in the region of £500,000 to £1 million to do it. And that's true for pretty much any franchise situation. But you know what actually happens when people do that? They spend all this money and they buy themselves a job. Now just think about that for a second. They buy themselves a job. And why is that? Because they actually have to work in the business in order to make it a success. So they've spent huge sums of money, committed massive amounts of capital to creating the potential, and that's all it is. It's the potential for an income for themselves. Now think about the risks and the potential reward in Jeunesse, and the numbers take on a totally different complexion, because essentially you can be making a retail profit from day one. And I'm going to talk about these 6 streams of income, as you see here, all of which get added as layers to the income that's created by the activity that you as a partner, a distributor, actually create as you build your organization. Bearing in mind, the vast majority of people begin part-time. Now, I ought to pick up on one very small point here, because I think it's a small point, as long as you understand it. And that is that part-time doesn't mean when you fancy it, because essentially that means it's no time, because the TV gets in the way, you know, the other demands and circumstances that life brings get in the way of doing something that's focused and gives you the reward that potentially this can do. And let me just tell you what that is, because ultimately at the end of all this, it's the potential here is unlimited, literally. You can make yourself millions a year out of a Jeunesse business. You have to choose to do the things that are necessary in order to make that happen, and feel that you fit with the way the business works, the kind of values it has, what it stands for. And if they fit with you as an individual, then this business offers you an opportunity essentially to completely and utterly change your life. So let me go through each of these points in turn. Number 1, the retail profit. 2, new customer acquisition bonus. Number 3, team commissions I'm going to talk about. Leadership matching bonuses in number 4, customer acquisition incentive, and then the leadership bonus pool. And this is something you need to understand in terms of there is always a retail profit. Everybody understands what that means. You know, you go into a high street store, you're paying £1 for something. They didn't buy it at £1. Otherwise, they couldn't pay their overhead and their staff and all these other things. They bought it for, I don't know, maybe 60p, 50p, something like that. And they're marking it up in order to create a profit to cover their overheads, and also a profit to pay themselves, and a profit to reinvest in their business. Because ultimately the business wouldn't survive if it didn't go on investing in itself. So here, purchasing at wholesale, selling at retail. By the way, I make no apology for the fact that these are in US dollars. It's the global currency that Jeunesse uses, as it's a US business, 121 countries, as you heard Sue talk about. It's the base currency that operates across the whole world. It's also the base on which bonuses are actually calculated across the whole world. So depending on the dollar, and the dollar exchange at the time will depend on the income that's created in a local currency. So here, for example, you're paying $83.95 for a product, and you're selling it at the suggested retail price of $134.95. That's a $51 profit, which is pretty decent profit, you know. And if you create a big retail business, you can make yourself an income this way. However, this is essentially what someone does when they're selling through a retail outlet, and they're creating a profit, yes, but they're also creating a job in as much as they are creating customers that they have to service on an ongoing basis. So the money is generally paid at this end through the program of creating retail profits, and there's an incentive here, because what Jeunesse is saying is, look, we want you to create retail customers. We want you to do that, and if you manage to get 2 preferred customers, then it's paid for you. And that's essentially the fact that what happens is you get a $50 US bonus. You become qualified for the month. We'll talk about qualification again in a minute. And you get 2 free bottles of Luminous cellular rejuvenation serum as well, which effectively you can use to gift to people, to use as samples, to just use for yourself. It's up to you. So the company's saying, look, we want people to be customers. We know that this isn't a business for everybody. So those people who prefer to become a customer because the products are really good, they work, they're unique in terms of how they're formulated, and they all work together, then this is a really good way to create a retail income for yourself. Let me just give you a quick other testimony from my own personal perspective, which is I have some precancer cells on my forehead from sun damage as a child. They come out in later life because of DNA damage. Essentially, well, if you go to your doctor and tell them, say, look, what's this stuff? They'll tell you that they can't do much about it other than to freeze them off and hope they go away. The only alternative for anybody is to wear, to stay out of the sun, essentially. Well, when I was told that, I've never really been a sun worshipper. Unfortunately, I've been sunburnt now and then, but I stay out of the sun anyway. And I've tried all kinds of other products, many of which made outrageous claims. And when Sue and I became involved with Jeunesse, I began to use the serum, and I'd been using other things and nothing had really touched it. Nothing had touched any of them, really. Luminous serum has made a massive difference. Virtually all of the skin lesions that were caused by the DNA damage have gone from my forehead. Just remarkable, absolutely amazing product that this is. I use it every day. They're gradually disappearing completely. And I suspect that within the next 3 to 4 months, they will have gone entirely. So these products really do an amazing job. And just getting some customers helps to pay you bonuses, literally from day one. So moving on, next level, new customer acquisition bonus. As you personally enroll new customers, you can gain this bonus, and they're paid on the purchase of one of the optional Jeunesse product packages. So if you have people who are looking at this and saying, you know what, I wouldn't mind doing this myself, and I'd like a range of products to use as well as experience, then these packages make it compelling for them to become involved on a business partner basis. Now, let me just take you back a second. We were talking, or I was talking earlier about, buying a McDonald's franchise and the commitment that someone makes financially as well as physically and emotionally to that sort of purchase. Now, when you start to think about the way that networks work, Jeunesse works, the kind of commitment that people are making to the top package here, the 500 CV, as you see, the ambassador package. I'm not going to go into the detail of that, but you're looking at the most between £1,000 and £2,000. The bonus for the person sponsoring is $250 US dollars, but the commitment someone makes to become a distributor is relatively low by comparison with other things that offer similar financial income opportunities. So this is an incredibly low cost. Cost is the wrong word. Risk is a better word. This is an unbelievably low risk opportunity for someone to become involved in a business that can turn them into a millionaire, literally into a millionaire, and from virtually no financial commitment, because the company's done all the work. The reward you create for this is the creation of the network. And that's your willingness to go out and share the opportunity with people and share the product with them. And I hope those of you who are already distributors here know the power of the product. I expect that those of you who are listening to this will receive evidence of the power of the product from the person who invited you on the call, because they really are exceptional. So let's talk about the third layer of commissions, and that's team commissions. Well, here's you as the person deciding to join. We measure everything on what's called PV, that's purchase volume, and you decide to do at least 100 points in personal volume based on the US dollar, remember, and you recruit Joe and Anne who decide to do the same things, because the essence of the network is in sharing this opportunity with others who say, you know what, I could do that. I'd like to do that. I'll join you in your group. Now, you, Joe, and Anne have all done 100 each, and you've now become an executive within the program. And the next layer will tell you what that means in a moment. Anne goes out and finds Rhea and Tom, who in turn find a couple of other people, Mary and Sue, Liz, and Roy. And they, and our first group in green have now done 300 in what's called CV, if you count the 3, 1, 2, and 3. You, Joe, and Anne, done 300. Ria, Tom, Mary Sue, Liz, and Roy have done 600. And this is how the numbers work, because that creates a $35 commission income for you, because the system works on the basis of this. It looks for 300 CV points in one side, 600 in the other. Doesn't matter from which side it comes. The computer system says, where can I find that combination? When it does, it pays you a $35 commission. You can earn up to 750 of those commissions in a week, which means if that caps out for you as an individual, then your income would be $26,250 a week. Now, for most people, they look at that number and think, that's unbelievable. Well, actually, it might appear like it's a huge sum. It is. But there are many people already involved in Jeunesse around the world who are creating that level of income on a weekly basis. Now, just bear this in mind. If you were taking Jeunesse products or any product, going to your local market, setting up a table, a stall, whatever you like to call it, and relying on the people walking past you to create an income, you're not likely to do $26,250 a week, because it's limited by the footfall going past. However, what you also have to appreciate is that Jeunesse is a global business. There are 121 countries to which it already ships. The planet has 7 billion people on it. The countries that Jeunesse ships to already have hundreds and hundreds of millions of people. And the way the system is created, it's designed to capture people all over the world for you to effectively benefit from. Now, why would the company do that? Well, think about it like this. In this example, you have found Joe and Anne. And Joe and Anne in turn have then found Ria and Tom, Mary, Sue, Liz. Sorry, Anne has found Ria, Tom, Mary, Sue, Liz, and Roy. And they simply would not exist as customers of the company without you. Now, those people could be in any country in the world. And here's the essence of it. Many of you, I'm sure, will have heard of, if not seen, a film called 6 Degrees of Separation. It essentially works on the basis of the fact that we're all 6 steps away from everyone in the world. You know someone who knows someone who knows someone, and so on. On the basis of that, everybody knows everybody somewhere. So what happens, and what Jeunesse is tapped into, is exactly that concept. And so you know someone who knows someone in Germany, who knows someone in Sweden, who knows someone in America, who knows someone in Australia, who knows someone in Thailand, who knows someone in China, who knows, and so on. And that's how your business goes global. Susan, my business already stretches around the world. We don't know these people. We've never met these people, but they are in our organization and they contribute to this $35 income and the number of team commissions on a week by week basis. And this is the essence of the network as it begins to grow. You don't know where it will end up, but this is how the big money starts to be made. It'll take on a life of its own if you continue and you're willing to sponsor other people to become part of the organization alongside our fantastic product line. So, layer 4 of leadership, matching bonuses. These steps, as you see from they graduate left to right, as you might expect, stair step. Everybody starts as an associate. And if you keep working and you do enough of this, you end up as a Crown Diamond Director on lots and lots of money a year. And I'm not going to over-egg this pudding, but essentially it's about moving from left to right. And the movement from left to right is based on one very simple thing, and that is recruiting new people to become part of your team, helping those people to become successful and to develop their own teams. By doing that, the company then says, okay, outside of the bonuses you've seen before, we're now going to reward you on the basis of this matching bonus. And the matching bonus is essentially directly related to the people that you personally sponsor. So the company's saying, look, we're going to reward you for that sponsorship. We're going to reward you for your effort and your work and your commitment to those people in helping them to progress by giving you these layers of additional bonus, stretching down through their organizations. And this is where the big money, ultimately the really big money, is made. If you look to the right-hand end, and I don't want you to get sort of overexcited about this, but essentially there is a $1 million one-time bonus. So they pay you, it's a lottery win, simply by doing something you might love to do, you've focused upon doing, you continue to do. This is the lottery win without buying the ticket. And the vast majority of people, I know you've all been lying in the bath, lying there with a nice warm cozy bath, thinking to yourself, what would I do with the money I've just won on the lottery? The essence of that is that's what your dreams are about and where you'd like to end up. This opportunity offers you the potential for that outside of what it is that you do in order to pay the bills. And that to me is it's a really exciting possibility, because you're not betting your house on this. You're not quitting your job and throwing caution to the winds. Here, most people we're suggesting most people start to take part because they have the opportunity to build something alongside what they do, and as they do, it'll begin to overtake their full-time income. Let me just, I'll take you back a second. Sue didn't explain it, but she and I have been in this business for 25 years. That bit she did explain. I did not, and I'm going to talk personally for a second. I did not find networking as a business opportunity. The first exposure I had to it was an ex-secretary of mine who rang me one day and said, you've got to get into this thing, blah, 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 blah. She tried to start explaining what I'm explaining to you right now, the way these systems work. She tried to do that over the phone. I simply got lost in about 30 seconds. However, my wife Sue, whose mind was much more open than mine, took me to see a presentation one night. And I was absolutely blown away by this concept, because being a businessman and looking at the way that normal business works, this is so counter to what that is on a number of different fronts. But essentially what it said to me was, well, actually, what you're doing here is you're helping other people become focused and successful on something that generates an income for them that's nothing to do with what I do. In other words, I'm not employing these people. I'm simply facilitating the option for them to create incomes for themselves. And Sue got involved with the business while I was still running a business of my own. And in 3.5 years, her part-time income had overtaken my full-time income. I'm going to repeat that. In 3.5 years, her part-time income had overtaken my full-time income. I was running my own marketing agency. We were doing very nicely, thank you. But when months were great, I got paid well. And when months weren't great, I probably didn't get paid, and everybody else did that worked for me. In this case, in networking, that isn't the way it works. You get paid for what you've achieved and what you've done. And the company says, thank you very much, because without you, we wouldn't have the income you're creating. So much so that after that 3.5 years, I looked very hard at my options. And the more I looked at networking and the business that Sue was creating, and she's the networker really, I'm not. I'm the support act. She had built this business, and when I started to look at what she'd actually done, in about 15 hours a week, her part-time income was bigger than my full-time income. So she and I sat down and we talked about it long and hard. So I don't think she was sure whether she could work with me, and I wasn't entirely sure I could work with her, but I was happy to give it a try because I could see the benefits for it. And that was in 1997. And we have been working together ever since. That's not far off 20 years now. We've been working in our networking organization for that length of time and have never really looked back. This business sets you free if you do it in the right way, because essentially it gives you options, the income to create those options for yourself, and the freedom to choose the way you use your time. And that to me is the most important thing of all. Time is so important for people. So number 5, customer acquisition incentive. You can earn an additional 5% on your first level if you have 5 retail customers, 10% if you create 10 retail customers, and this is just an additional line for you. 6th thing, diamond bonus pool. Those people who reach the diamond rank, they share in 3% of the company's CV worldwide. Now, let me put that into context. Last year's revenue, turnover, whatever way you'd like to describe it, reached $1.1 billion. I sound like Mike Myers. That 1.1 billion, of that, around 50% of it, so 550 million, is the CV. So 3% of 550 million, which is, hang on a minute, I'll get there in a minute. It's around about 16 million or thereabouts dollars, 3%. So $16 million was paid out to qualified diamond directors. Last year, the total number of worldwide diamond directors was 127. So that $15 million was shared out between 127 people. You can do the maths yourself. You can realize that's a significant amount of money. Why would they do that? Well, the company wants people to stay. It wants to go on incentivizing the leadership that have created the volume, to keep them in the organization and the business in order to keep sharing it in a way which shows everyone that this is a brilliant business to get involved in. And that's what I'm sharing with you right now. I'm saying to you, excuse me, you have lots of options. You can go on doing what you are. You can go on getting the income you are. If you're working for somebody, then you're following someone else's plan other than your own, because you're being paid enough to keep you, and probably not. It's enough. Yeah, it's enough to keep you. And it's probably not enough to deliver the dreams you've got. So if that's the case, then delivering on your dreams is something that demands a certain amount of personal responsibility and a choice, a choice to do something in addition or instead of what you do now. There are other bonuses as well. There are customer incentives, trips, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The company is extremely keen on pushing people towards stretching a little bit further in order to gain those new incentives. And they do a lot of that all the time in order to provide that extra incentive to say, come on, you can do it, you can do it. We talked about the product line. Ultimately here, no money's made if the product doesn't sell. We currently have 13 products. Those 13 products have taken the company to 1.1 billion. 2 new products were launched in Las Vegas very recently and will be shared with those of us who are going to Rome in April. So we're moving forward in terms of the number of products, but they're all designed to fit in with the youth enhancement system. These products are designed to reverse aging. They're unique in concept and they are unique in their formulation. Nobody else out there has anything like this. There are lots of Me Too companies now jumping on the bandwagon saying they like it, but I can tell you from experience and personal testimony that no one I know of has had products like these. So what we've covered is the company background, the products, Jeunesse itself, a little bit about the history, the way we get paid, and the potential and how you can take advantage of it. Now, I guess what's running through your mind is something very simple here. Can I do it? Well, this is a key question because it's actually, perhaps it's misphrased, because yes, anyone can do it. And many people do. The people who are successful in this business have never been a success in anything else they've done, relatively. And that's, I'm not going to go into the concepts of whether it's success or failure, but essentially, that what makes the change here is whether someone chooses to do it. So the question should be, do I choose to do this? Rather than, can I do this? Because if you choose to do this, then Susan, my job and the organization's job is to support you in your every effort to make you as successful as you want to be. So that leads on perhaps to another question, which is, what do I do next? Well, as I've said, make a decision. Choose to do it. Connect with the why, with your why. set yourself a goal. What do I want to achieve out of this? Well, talk to this person who invited you on the call, the sponsor, as we would call them, with what that goal might be and why you're doing this, because your why needs to be big enough. You see, I'm a great believer in the fact, and over the many years I've been involved in personal development, I know that the way people make decisions is not based on what goes through their head, it's based on what goes through their heart. So your emotion, the emotional response you have about whether you believe you can move this thing forward and you can pull this deal off, is more important than looking at the numbers and the levels of reward and the amounts of money there are available. It's more a question of, can I do, you know, do I want to do this? Will I put in the commitment? A couple of important things here is about the people you know is what you bring, part of what you bring. I go back to the 6 degrees of separation. You have to have a willingness to share the people you know with your opportunity. And that's part of your why, because if your why isn't strong enough, you won't do it. You'll judge people. You turn around and say, oh, they wouldn't do it. They won't do it. They're far too successful. Listen, 50% of the UK population, adult population, is 500 quid away from going broke. So don't make assumptions about people. Create a list and just share it with them. It's their choice to decide. It's your choice to choose to share it with them. And that's why your upline, the person you've sponsored, is so important to this process. We're not asking you to do that on your own. That's a combination activity. That's why the next point is share it with your sponsor and with us. Sue and I are here to help. Our job is to help you be as successful as you want to be. And we'll share our 25 years plus of experience in this business and knowing everything that can and does go right and wrong. And we go to work with you to connect with your list. This is the process. It's a very simple thing. You don't need to know anything. You just need to facilitate the connection. So what do you do if you decide you want to become involved? Well, position yourself. You get registered. Listen, I talked about McDonald's. £23.72 is how you secure a franchise. You've got that out of the 500 quid you've got spare. Secures your position in the team. You get your personalized retail website for that. Jeunesse back office systems are like no other networking business on the planet. They are absolutely brilliant. All the reports, the resources, the lot, they are really exceptional. Why? Because actually before Jeunesse became a product sales business, it sold back office systems to other MLM companies. They all use the software that Randy and Wendy put together and was their main core business before they began Jeunesse. So they know how to make a back office system for an MLM business. Choose a package that suits you and your requirements. The basic package activates your position as a distributor. The Supreme package qualifies you to be paid as a Pearl, which is a particular rank you'll have seen in the steps a little earlier, for a 60-day period. That also conveys some really significant discounts in terms of product pricing. And the Ambassador Pack, which is probably the best place to start, qualifies you as a Sapphire, which is a step up from Pearl, for 180 days. So again, companies saying part of their incentive system is, look, if your commitment, we'll give you more for making that commitment. Now, let me just add another caveat to this, and that is that your commitment is our commitment. Because if you decide you want to go for these additional packages, be prepared to make sure you pick it up and run with it fast. You need to throw that concept at us and we'll help you do that as fast as you want to do it, because the speed of your group will be your speed at which you work. That's how we get paid. That's where I would recommend you position yourselves. To me, it's a very low cost decision. It's a very easy decision to make. And I'm going to give you back now to Sue in order to talk a little further about the best place to be.
Hi, thanks, Nigel. Well, the best place to be. When we looked at this, as I say, we needed to. We'd left a business already, and we needed to make as much money as quickly as possible. So for us, we felt that the Ambassador pack was the most effective option for us. It gave us the right amount of product that we could share with people and use ourselves and gain knowledge. So you get much more product selection, you get the best price, and as Nigel's just told you, you get paid down at a sapphire level for 180 days. That's, you know, 3 levels down, but that's 6 months worth. And if you know, that enables you to actually really start creating an income and producing more of an income than you would have done normally. So what if you've liked what you've seen tonight, you were invited by the person, someone who felt that it was, you know, they wanted you to be part of this as well. And whoever that was, you need to get registered with them on the webinar and select a package that suits your needs. And, you know, sometimes someone said to me, well, I don't know whether I can afford all that. And, you know, actually, it's important that you actually feel slightly uncomfortable about it, because it's not going to sit in your lounge, I promise you. And one of the things that is important is, as soon as you get your package, you need to go to work with it. Don't just sit and look at it or kind of go, well, I don't want to share that with anyone. You know, that's what's going to help you move yourself along. Then you need to choose who you want to partner with. And I think that's really nice, to be able to partner with people who you actually want to be in business with, rather than someone you have to be in business with. And we'll help you. If we're not your sponsor, if you're in a business, we'll help you anyway. You work with your sponsor to become executive in those next few days, or as soon as possible, because once you activate your executive position, then you can access those cycles, the payments, the $35 payments, and you can do it again and again and again. So that's really it for tonight. And bear with me, let me come back to and stop sharing my screen. Bear with me a minute. And oh, okay, why isn't that working? Aha. And hopefully you know, kind of you able to make a decision on what you've seen tonight. We hope you've enjoyed it. We do these every Monday at 8 o'clock UK time, 9 in Europe, and we've now got someone from Bulgaria coming in, so we've put that on there, so it's 10 o'clock in Bulgaria. And we look forward to you. We do change what we have on a weekly basis, and so we'll cover usually lots of things that are kind of topics of the week, if you like. This will be able to be seen on a replay, and you'll get the replay link in just a few minutes, and you can then send people to that, and they can, you know, obviously watch it in their own time as well. If you missed any of it, then you can replay it. Quite often, if the webinar link is not brilliant here, sometimes in Spain, it's perfectly fine on the replay. So hopefully that will be of use to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We really enjoyed speaking to you tonight, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.